that's some sort of profound poetry, or I don't. Do you know what I think he's trying to say? I think he's trying to say that he was. What are you trying to say?
No, stop for a minute, because I just want to just recapture that moment. Just say that again, that sentence again.
Right. The other two had gone off picking up rocks.
Yeah.
Right. He sat on his own in the rocket, and he was the loneliest man in the world.
Okay, I know what he's trying to say. I do. Right. Well, right. He's trying to say he was, by definition, a human furthest away from all other human contact.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah, okay. No, you said loneliest. Loneliest evokes an emotion.
Yeah.
But
it's like he started crying and writing poetry and listening to Morrissey records.
you mean he was the most remote man?
Well, yeah, he was saying how, like, he's on the rocket on his own, right?
Yeah.
And I think I worked it out because it was in kilometres, right? And I think it turned out that they, right, the other two spacemen picking rocks and that, they were 2,500 miles away from him, right? So they were miles away. They
2,500 miles?
Yeah.
But they had each other.
They had each other.
Yeah.
You had the world right across the other way. Everyone getting on with their lives.
Yeah.
He was on his own. That's weird, isn't it? But what I was thinking is, right? Say, because I always sort of try and put myself in a situation.
Yeah.
When I hear about a weird thing that's gone on, I always think, what would I do? You know what I mean? And I was thinking about it, right? Do you think when he got up in the morning, he still bothered to put his clothes on?
That's the first thing that came into your mind.
No,
when
just
you
because
pictured
I
him
always,
there.
at the end of the day, even if, like, my girlfriend Suzanne's out at work and that, I'm not happy walking about with everything out, because you never know what's going to happen.
What do you mean, like getting it trapped in the microwave?
Oh, I just mean, you never know if someone's going to turn up.
No, I don't like what I don't like. No, I always pop some pants on or a towel, even if I'm
not
alone.
always. Because I've knocked on your door when you've been stood there with.
Knowing that you were there, I've done it especially to annoy you.
Oh, right.
Yeah, so.
But do you know what I mean? Do you think he was walking about the rocket with his tackle out, or did he go, well, no one's watching here?
Do you reckon it floats up or down?
Depends how long it is, doesn't it?
Depends how long it is, yeah.
I don't know what I mean by that, but that seems to make sense.
Yeah.
But don't they have cameras for NASA to monitor what's going on inside the spaceship?
Not all the time, no. I bet they've got to give him some sort of privacy.
No, that would end up on the internet.
Yeah.
Floating around with his floaty knob.
Well, if you are the man who was up in a space rocket and was for a short period the loneliest man in the world, we'd love to hear from you. We'd love to hear what you did with your time, how lonely you felt, and also did you float around with your cock and balls out? What was that like? Did it float up or did it float down? These are just some of the questions that we'd like. So if you are that person, or maybe you know them, maybe they're a neighbour of yours, then you can get in touch with us at podcast@rickygervais.com.
The Ricky Gervais Show on Guardian Unlimited.
We've done radio and stuff in the past, Rick, and we have never had the kind of response that we've had from these podcasts. I mean,
It's
people
amazing.
are emailing in by the hundreds of thousands. It's meant, well, maybe not hundreds of thousands, but I didn't count them, but thousands, certainly. Crazy amounts of email. I couldn't really get through them. I've just managed to pick out a few.
It's because it's global now. It's people all around the world are listening, and that's so exciting. We've got just loads from America, Australia. It's mad.
Yeah, New Zealand, Canada, and these are just some of the ones that I've pulled out from the email because there's so many of them. Podcast@rickygervais.com if you want to get in touch. Rob says he listens to the show in his exams, which I'm sure cannot be a good idea. I mean,
No, because that's a waste. What I'd do is the night before, I'd record all the answers and then listen to that, as
Yeah.
opposed to me, you, and Carl Pilkington.
but surely you're not allowed to listen to your stereo or your iPod in an exam. That would be crazy, wouldn't it?
Well, he's probably got it's probably up his back,
Right,
a little
yeah.
wire wired to him, covered in sort of like some sort of fake flesh and
Yeah.
hair, and then just pops into his ear.
It's all changed now, though, isn't it, as well?
What do you mean?
Well, they're allowed calculators and that, innit? It's just sort of.
Sorry, I had calculators in my exams. What world?
What do you know about exams, Carl?
No,
You
but-
never showed up.
But what I'm saying is, years ago, a calculator wouldn't have been allowed. We've moved on a bit now, haven't we?
What year was this
I don't
though?
have an iPod.
With loads of people with abacuses.
I don't know.
Anyway, Rob's question was this. Brilliant.
I've never heard him admit that before. I think we've broken his spirit. Carl, you go. I don't know. Oh no, we might have put an end to the phenomenon that is Carl Pilkington.
Monkey news still to come.
He's back.
Anyway, listen. Rob's question is this, Carl. It's specifically to you, Carl. If you could have a superpower like Superman, what would your superpower be?
Can I suggest consciousness?
Yeah.
Can I have the power of thought?
Remember, you've already got opposable thumbs. Cross that one off the list.
Oh, go on, Carl.
There are so many to choose from. Telepathy, X-ray vision,
Flight, invisibility,
choose it wisely.
strength, intelligence.
But why have I been picked?
Oh, for God's sake!
No, but I'm just saying.
It's Rob's question for you.
But I'd just say, does anyone else want this? Or, do you know what I mean?
Oh, what do you wish you could do that's impossible is the
because-
question,
no, because-
what do you mean?
Because with that comes a responsibility. is what
With
I'm saying.
enormous power does come great responsibility.
So, would you like spidey senses? Is that what you're saying? Would you like some senses? Would you like some sense? The power of sense?
Come on, Carl. You know what these superheroes because they can.
I know, but it
they can
always
freeze
they're
things.
never happy, are they? Do you know what I mean? Spider-Man that wanted to tell that girl that he could climb walls and that. He's like, I can't. Superman didn't never tell Lewis and that.
Who's Lewis? Who's Lewis? Who's Lewis?
It's just a pen pal of Superman's.
Lewis! His little secret chum! Yeah! Oh, it's Superman. Hello, Lewis, what are you doing? Superman, who are you? I can't tell you, Lewis. Brilliant.
You know, Hulk, he wasn't happy. So,
But you're being allowed to choose the superpower. You don't have to get it forced upon you like the Hulk.
Hulk, he wasn't happy! It's true, he's got a theme. He has got a theme. There's not many happy superheroes, are there?
Leaving aside the superheroes you're already aware of,
Yeah.
what superpower do you want? You don't have to fight crime with it, Carl.
Everyone around the world now is thinking, what can Carl choose? Let's deliver it to him now, Carl. Think about it and give us the answer, please.
Let me remind you of some of the other things. Invisibility.
all the time though, or can I sort of turn that on and off?
Let's say you could turn it on and off. Would that interest you?
Yeah. I'll have that.
Right. Okay, and what would you do with this power of invisibility?
Just sort of wander about and that, just not get seen.
It's a brilliant power! It's a brilliant... And it's put to such brilliant use! It's really well done!
And why would you want to walk around and not be seen in that? What would you gain from that?
Don't know, you could sort of go in shops when they're shut, so you don't have to go.
How would you get
crowds.
in?
Just get in just before they lock up.
Oh yeah! How would you get out?
Wait till the morning.
Brilliant.
So hang on. So that's your use of invisibility. They found the power of invisibility. You want to sneak into? Never mind. No, hang on. You want to sneak into HMV, right? Wait for 12 hours and then buy something.
I love it.
Just so that you don't have to be in there with other people.
Do you know what? I don't want it. I don't want a power
Why not?
because I just don't think it'll do me any good. I think it's more of a hindrance.
I love this. It's like, just think of his presents. We've given you a trip into space, and the chance to be invisible.
Not happy with any of them.
Yeah, what he wants is a voucher for HMV.
Yeah. He just wants some tokens for a record shop. Just going through a few more of these emails. This one is from David. He's in Los Angeles, California, 22 years old. He says he loves the show, but he says, with respect to Carl, never before have I understood so little of what a man says. Virtually everything that Carl talked about was aloof to me. What on earth was he ranting about? Flies and condoms, monkeys and pushing the left button, cavemen and dinosaurs. And that's just some of you. I mean, let's be honest, if you are in America, I mean, firstly, the accent is probably a problem.
But that is the best write-up we've ever had.
Yeah. Flies and... Imagine if you're a new listener, flies and condoms. What on earth does that mean? This one's from Kent Plummer from Nova Scotia, Canada. He says, Carl, he's wondering if you've got any personal mantras that you could pass along. For instance, he reminds us of Ben Franklin's famous mantra, waste not, want not.
Who said that?
Ben Franklin.
What was he? What did he do? What was his job?
Benjamin Franklin was a well-respected American politician from the 1800s. He was a sort of thinker, a philosopher, a scientist, deeply respected. Also a big political figure. He features on the dollar bill or the $10 bill or something. Yeah. So he's one of the great sort of American Enlightenment thinkers, and he came up with the mantra "Waste not, want not."
You must know "waste not, want not." I mean, that's just.
Do you understand the phrase "waste not, want not"?
No, not really. No. What does it mean?
You've never heard that?
I think I've heard it, but I don't know. I've never used it. But when someone else said it, I don't know what.
Well, in context, I mean, all I'm going to do now is paraphrase that and put some prepositions and stuff in it for you. I can't work out how you can't work out what that means. It's like, don't throw stuff away because you might need it, and therefore you won't be wanting anything because you didn't throw it away. So
so he was a bit of a hoarder.
If you don't waste food, for instance, then
he was a bit of a hoarder.
For God's sake.
No, but I'm just saying, he's a man in power. Is that the best thing he ever said?
No, I'm sure he came up with many profound things.
Why is that one?
He did experiments in electricity and conducting electricity, all sorts.
But that impresses me more, inventing electricity, than someone...
He didn't invent electricity.
Wait a minute! Don't impress you more than what?
Just saying, waste not, want not. I don't think it's that good. It's not even catchy. What I don't understand is why he was the first person to sort of suggest, look, don't go chucking that out, keep it, you might need it later.
He wasn't the first person. Say that again. That is brilliant. Why isn't that catch on? That is amazing that you just got up with there. That's poetry. How would you word it?
I'd just say, whoa, don't be chucking that out, you might need that later.
Don't be chucking that out, you might need that later. Carl Pilkington.
Whereas some would argue that waste not, want not is perhaps a little bit more pithy, a little bit more...
We should go through great sayings and phrases and say if he could,
well, firstly, does he know what they mean? And then secondly, can he improve them?
That would be brilliant.
We'll make another one next time.
Let's say... Okay, Winston Churchill. Never have so few done so much for so many. What do you think of that? Do you know what that means?
So he's saying...
Well, it's with regard to the Battle of Britain and the pilots that gave their lives.
Yeah, I'd just be annoyed if I was one of them who gave a lot for a few or whatever, right?
No, gave a lot for so many. If you were one of those few that gave so much for so many, i.e. means these few good men, their actions freed the world. They freed the world. They have an impact on every person in the world, and they were few brave men, and that's what he's saying.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, if I was one of them men who gave up his life, right, I'd want a name check. I don't want to be bungled in with everyone else who is saying a load of blokes gave it their lives. Well done on that. See you later.
That's brilliant.
Did you just say bungled in?
Bungled in, yeah.
He made up a word!
You want to be bungled in?
You made up a word! See, that's it, you see, we've been looking for it. That's original, that's Carl Pilkington. I don't want to be bungled in.
Email here, Rick, from a man I know you're going to look forward to meeting one day. Paul, the party animal Parker. I imagine he had a wild Christmas.
Oh,
imagine the fun he got up to.
He's sitting now in sunglasses with his mum giving him some soup because he's partied too hard.
And I'll tell you this, I wish I was around there for New Year. Imagine what he's going to get up to.
If he recovers in time, it's going to be mental. What's he want?
Anyway, Paul, the party animal Parker, he sent in a fact. That seems to be his thing now. He sends in facts that he thinks might be of interest to us. The kiss that is given by the bride to the groom at the end of the wedding ceremony originates from the earliest times when the couple would actually make love for the first time under the eyes of half the village. Wow. Now, a couple of questions straight away. Firstly, this is almost like a Carl fact, because there's no specific time or place. It was earliest times.
Earliest times.
I don't know whether that means the wedding ceremony in this country, in America, in Africa, who knows.
Yeah.
But, so, it's a little bit vague. But this was the thing that struck me. Actually make love for the first time under the eyes of half the village. And you wonder, why is it only half the village? Was it like, were they raffling off tickets?
Yeah, the winners. Exactly.
You come and see two people getting it on. The rest of you, no, tickets only. It's cordoned off.
It started off, and then a few of them got bored. Once you've seen one stroke, you've seen them all. That's about as good as it gets. Yeah.
So I don't know if there's any truth. But what about that, Kai? How would you feel with that if you had to?
At what point does that happen? Is that like, they go, right, I do, get your knickers off?
Well, presumably, if it's the origins of the kiss, you may kiss the bride. The old vicar used to say, as they were jumping over the broomstick, he used to go, right, give her one.
Yeah.
And then
You may knob the bride. Don't know how quick the lovemaking has to be, whether you've got to get in and out, boom, and then, you know what I mean? Because people are hungry, they want to eat, they want to have a disco. Chatting.
I'll tell you what, Sting's wedding must have
So
been
gone
a
on
long
for hours.
of affair, wasn't it? The guest was going, bringing in their
People
own
brought
cake.
sleeping bags. Thermos flasks.
The Ricky Gervais Show on Guardian Unlimited.
right, do you know we've chatted about charities before, haven't we?
Sure.
Yeah.
Done a lot of stuff on that, right? Just coming back from Manchester, right? Got off the train at Euston,
Yeah.
right? Got off the train, walking through the busy bit and stuff. There's this fella stood there, right? Good charity worker,
Yeah.
right? Nice looking fella. He's got his suit on, the tie and everything, quite respectable and that, right? Look down at his bucket. All money's been put in the bucket and that,
Yeah.
right? On the front of the bucket, right? It says collecting for the homeless at Christmas. Now, why can't they do that?
What, the homeless?
The homeless people. Why is some fella taking his time out, right? His own time where he could be at home. Why?
Some of us have got homes to go to.
Yeah.
Why? Do you know what I mean?
What, you think just give them the buckets?
But what are the homeless people doing whilst he's doing that? Is what I'm saying. What have they got on the timetable?
Cut out the middleman. Cut out the middleman. Give all the homeless a bucket with homeless written on
For
it.
Christmas?
Yeah, no admin.
No?
Just keep everything you get, mate.
What do you think of that?
It's a brilliant idea.
What would prevent a homeless person and an entrepreneurial homeless person just getting a bucket and writing that on there
Could I
themselves?
suggest something? Hunger, some drug addiction, traumas, often mental illness. Just possibly too depressed to get up, put a suit on, and go to Euston Station with a nice bucket with some writing on it.
And then, right, I was thinking about that, right, and I was walking down the street in London with Suzanne. Saw a little homeless. Oh, well, I didn't see the homeless bloke, right? I saw a leg,
Right.
sticking out of a doorway. I thought, here we go, right. Walked past it, right. You're not going to believe this.
Go on.
Homeless
Yeah.
Chinese fella. I've never seen one of them. No, I'm not having a go, right? Well, have you ever seen? Do you know what I mean? That was a shock.
I
to me.
really don't think I have. I think he's got me there. I hate to say it, but I must say I can't remember ever seeing a homeless Chinese person. No.
No, I suppose you're right. Thinking about it.
Weird, isn't it? I actually said, I was walked past and I said to Suzanne, "Did you see that?" She went, "What?" I said, "Just look back there." She said, "What?" I said, "That homeless fella. Look back at him." She said, "What?" I said, "He's Chinese." And she said, "Yeah, good point."
Good point. Of course she did.
She just had to shut you up.
She didn't want to get into a conversation with you. Oh,
And what's
God.
your point, really? What exactly is your point? You're
Well,
just
it's
perplexed
just
'cause
that
you've not
we
seen
were
it.
chatting about homeless and that, and I saw that, and I just thought, I just found it a bit odd.
Right. Well, if you are perhaps based in America or Australia, Canada, have you ever seen a Chinese homeless person? This doesn't count to any listeners in China. But anywhere else, have you ever seen a Chinese homeless person? Podcast at rickygervais.com. If you have, maybe you've got a picture you can send us as well. But this is what we're looking for now. We're looking for how many Chinese homeless people can we find by, let's say, 2006. You know, January 2006, January 1st. How many Chinese homeless people have you seen? Rick, it's that time again. It's what the whole world is waiting for now.
Is it
every
Monkey
week.
News?
It is Monkey News. Please perform live the jingle.
Why'd you say that?
Oh, we've got a few people saying, "Oh, is that a pre-recorded jingle?" Yeah, like anything's pre-recorded.
No, it's different
But
every
we've got
week.
that technology.
I'll give it a big one, shall I?
Give it.
Oh, chimpanzee, that Monkey News, you.
There we go.
Right then, well, got an email from John. You know, if you've got any monkey news going on in your area,
Let us know. Podcast at rickygervais.com.
Oh God, amazing!
just bung it on email. And this one's sent in from John. Don't know where he is. But do you know, like, they're running out of TV ideas and that?
They're running out of TV ideas.
Well, you know,
Are they?
they've done a lot of stuff. I mean, if you had to come up with a TV idea now, you struggle, don't you? Because every idea you come up with, it's kind of been done on it.
Sure.
Okay.
Right? It's like inventions and that. Right?
They're
so-
not getting monkeys to come up with TV ideas, are they?
Well, No, right. But there's a TV channel in Moscow, right? And I think they had a bit of bad luck or something. A lot of redundancies and that, right? And whoever was in charge of it got a bit mental and got rid of loads of people, right?
Yeah.
And they come in the next day and they were like, right, are we ready to go live and that? And someone comes running in with a clipboard saying, we haven't got any people left, right, to present.
That's nonsense. Right, but I'll tell you what. Right, okay, carry on.
So he goes, what?
If just one employee turns out to be Simeon and is doing a good job, I'm never doing this radio show again.
So this TV channel, you know, it's having a lot of problems and that. They've got to go live, right? He's like, what am I going to do? Anyway, for some reason, right, there was a chimp knocking about.
For some reason, that's the key piece of information.
It doesn't matter, does it?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Imagine if that was in a film. And they're going, well, I can't see where this plot goes. Well, he's just there. He's just there.
So anyway, so he sort of says, get it in a suit, right?
Why?
So, because they're running out of ideas, the clock's ticking, they've got to go live with something.
What do you mean? What he's presenting?
News programme?
He's presenting.
Listen, it's a chat show. I'm not.
They can't talk!
Don't have a go at me, have a go at John, who sent this in.
Right,
and
be quiet, let's hear it. Let's hear it again.
So anyway, so like I say, so going live, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, whatever. Chimp sat there on the chair. He was like, look, let's just get through tonight's show and worry about this tomorrow, right?
What are you talking about?
Look,
so they put a chimp in a suit. What was that, handmade, or were the sleeves a bit short on him? You idiot, think!
So anyway, it's sat there, right? And they're going, right, here we go. Good luck, everyone, right?
Yeah.
Chimp's there.
What programme is this?
It's a chat show.
Whose chat show is it?
Well, it's the monkeys.
I like the fact that
It's the monkeys now, is it?
I like the fact that they put the chimp in a suit. It's like, no one's going to take this chat show seriously if he's not dressed up. If he's not smart.
Slovenly, look at that slovenly ape.
So anyway, let's get to the point of it and that, right? So anyway, so they go on, right? It's all going.
Didn't happen. There's no way this happened.
Here's a fundamental
anyway.
question. How was the chimp asking questions?
Not sure about that bit, but all I've got is the stuff that was on the news site for this. Like I say,
But it's rubbish!
Yeah, but I'll give you some facts. I've told you, there's a TV channel in Moscow that's having problems, right? I've explained that.
No, it's this rubbish.
They've got rid of the presenters, the monkey sat there, right? Don't worry about it anyway, I'm telling you, it goes alright.
So
anyway,
in case you're worried, Rick.
he's sat there, right?
Absolute
They get
shit.
to the first break, they're like, can't believe it, right? You know, viewing figures and that, they're loving it, right?
What? No, what? How did they know the viewing figures in the break?
Please do not interrupt the news.
What did the chimp do in the first half?
They had a big guest on that week and
And what did he do? Just talk to himself?
They walked up.
So Cher comes on.
I'm not sure, but say if it is Cher, right?
No,
Like,
what?
the main gaffer is like going, oh, Cher's going to go mental at us, right, for putting.
Say
that
it is.
monkey.
No, it is Cher. In his mind, it's Cher sitting there talking to a chimp in a suit.
So anyway, she
and they're
comes
filming
off-
it for Moscow TV, and the ratings are going through the roof.
Presumably there's a translator because Cher doesn't speak either Russian or chimp.
She comes off, right, and the bloke who's in charge is like, she's going to go mad. She's going to go mad here. She walks up, she goes, I love that. She said that's one of the best interviews, right? So anyway, he decided, right, it went so well, kept him on. He's still there.
I love the fact that Cher was an idea that Steve threw up, and now she's going, I love that, chimp, get me back there. I want to go to Moscow, never mind. Unbelievable.
Don't have a go at me, have a go at John, but, you know, if you've got any monkey news, send it in.
Podcast at rickygervais.com.
From the creators of The Office, Ricky Gervais and Stephen Merchant. Extras, the first series, now on DVD.
Who are you?
Nobody.
What's that? Who?
Nobody.
That's right. Nobody. And who am I?
So the Starsky Hutch, I can never remember.
You are guaranteed an Oscar if you play a mentor.
I've just written a sitcom, but I wonder if you could give it to anyone you know.
Is there any nudity in it?
Well, it could be.
Men or women?
Either. Well, just women.
I will make it so.
A painfully funny double disc. Extras on DVD now.
Thanks for listening. Happy New Year, particularly to our friends at Positive Internet. who
Oh, those guys have a wild
They
time.
host this podcast and they do a brilliant job. Happy New Year to everyone around the world, and in particular those guys at Positive Internet.
and also Paul Party Animal Parker have a blinding New Year, because I imagine it's going to be crazy.
You don't need to say it to
your
him.
mum's out.
I'm insulted that you have to tell him that, because there's no way you need to tell him that. He's going to have a blinding New Year, so don't waste your breath, Steve.
That's all from me, Steve Merchant. We've got Ricky Gervais here, and of course Carl Pilkington.
The Ricky Gervais Show on Guardian Unlimited. The Ricky Gervais Show on Guardian Unlimited.
Happy New Year. Welcome to the world's #1 podcast. I'm Ricky Gervais, with me Steve Merchant.
Hello there.
And Carl Pilkington.
Right.
We have had an overwhelming response from emails. To be honest, we're very grateful and thank you so much, but we've had over 4,000, which is just too many to get through. So we're going to have to apologise for not getting back to you. We are going to try and read them all, but we just can't reply. We do this ourselves. We're three little fellas. We haven't got an entourage and millions of people working for us. It's just us in a little room. But thank you so much. One in particular, remember a couple of weeks ago we asked if there's any house DJs out there, maybe they could do a dance mega mix with the words "I could eat a knob at night." Carl just said that in conversation, talking about someone in a reality game show, "I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here," who ate a kangaroo penis, and he just came out with the phrase "I could eat a knob at night." Someone has risen to the challenge. We had about 70 different songs. We're going to play our favourite at the end of the show, and maybe put some of the others on the website rickygervais.com, so you can go there and hear great dance tracks. They're all called "I Could Eat a Knob at Night."
Oh, no one's switching off now. Everyone's guaranteed they're going to stay right to the end there, so they can hear I want a bit of knob at... Was it? I could eat a knob at night.
I could eat a knob at night.
It's funny, it was only a while ago you were talking about getting quoted, like Winston Churchill got quoted and Ben Franklin got quoted, and now you may go down in history. "I could eat a knob at night," Carl Pilkington.
Carl, I could eat a knob at night, Pilkington.
Talking of all things nobular, I got a text from Carl yesterday, Steve.
A text from Carl, yeah.
Yeah. I'll just read it to you. "Okay, see you to Moz for a face rub at 6:30 then. No bum tubes though." So I was intrigued and I called Carl and said, "I think you've just sent me a text by mistake. What's the explanation of that? See you tomorrow for a face rub. No bum tubes though."
Just because my mate, right, Russell,
Why did he choose you?
he said, you know, there's things that go on in life that you need to experience.
Yeah.
He said, just pop along, and I didn't say yes straight away.
What's a face rub? You mean a facial? Like a facial?
Just like a posh face wash.
Like a facial, where you lay down.
You just clean your face with a flannel and that.
So you're going to have a facial scrub. You're going to go lie down with another man and have your face.
Well, no, this is what I was saying to him. I said, "Well, I'm not that happy with this." I said, "Look, there's nothing weird going on here, is there?" I said, "It's not a house, is it? It's a proper clinic and that." He said, "Yeah, it's proper. You wear a dressing gown and that." I said, "Well, I'm not that."
So he's already got you in the dressing gown?
Yeah, well, I haven't agreed to that. Today I've worn a little round polar neck sort of jumper, so I don't have to take it off. It's not going to get in the way of my face. I made sure I didn't wear a shirt with a collar. I'm not taking this off. They can put the dressing gown on top of this.
Right.
If you have to do it to look smart or whatever. I'm not taking the clothes off. I don't know if it's a woman who rubs my head. Don't know if it's a bloke or whatever.
Well, the thing is, you get extra, don't you, for your face rub, because your face goes all the way back over your top of your head down to the back of your neck.
But all I was,
so you've got a big face, haven't you?
All I was saying to him is, I'll have the face rub, but I don't know if once you're in there,
right,
they try and sell you the bum tube thing.
What's a bum tube? Is that a euphemism? What are you talking about?
The thing where they pop a tube in and put coffee in your belly and it cleans you out and that.
An enema?
Yeah, a
colonic irrigation?
Yeah.
Why would you have that?
I don't want it. I don't think
Why
you
not?
need to. Just because I think I've said to you before about, you know, you don't need to be that clean inside. Do you know what I mean? I don't mind washing my face. But what occasion do you need where you're that cleaned out? Do you know what I mean? And it's always a clear tube and that, and you see all the stuff whizzing past. I don't understand why it's clear. I don't know why you've got to see what's coming out of you. Like it's, like the generation game, making notes of what's whizzing past. Forget it.
The Ricky Gervais Show on Guardian Unlimited.
Over the Christmas break, I was watching some different TV. Saw an amazing documentary. It was called Tribes. This guy, and he goes and lives with different tribes around the world. These small little indigenous people. And there was one. He went to Papua New Guinea in Indonesia, right, Carl? He lived with the Kombai tribe. All right. Now, this Papua New Guinea is an extraordinary place because it is one of the only places left on Earth that hasn't been fully explored. There are parts of it that it's just blank on the map because they've never explored there. They don't know what's there. They don't know what's going on. So, firstly, that must already freak you out. Imagine that 21st century. They have no idea what's going on down there.
But do they need to know if there's nothing going on?
Well, they don't know what's going on. There could be stuff going on.
No, but there's no chance that they'll go, we haven't been over there, and someone goes and there's like an Arndale centre. Nothing's going to be there, is it? So there's no...
Well, I'll tell you what is there, okay? There's these various small tribes, okay? This guy goes, he's amazing, right? Now, the thing about these is that up until the 60s, and even more recently, some of these tribes are still cannibals. They're still cannibalistic, okay? Eating people from other tribes.
This is going on now?
Going on now. It's generally stopped, but it still does occasionally occur, alright? So this guy goes to live with them, right? They walk around, obviously naked, except for a little leaf just above their genitals. It's not covering the genitals, it's just above the genitals.
Do they know they could move on? Have they got a telly? Or have they seen a telly and gone, I'm not up for that? Or are they saying...
It's not the Amish.
They haven't chosen
Well, what is the difference between the Amish and these people?
Well, the Amish are a group of people that choose to live in that way. These people are just essentially untouched by civilization. I mean, they do have interaction with civilization, and people do come there, but they still live in this very, very almost prehistoric way. They go around. They have homemade weapons. They kill pigs and hogs in the undergrowth. They live in kind of tree houses.
They did buy a telly, but there was nothing on because there isn't any broadcasters.
They couldn't plug it in.
Yeah.
They're having an absolute nightmare.
Yeah.
But there was one guy, okay, now he said that his brother was dying. This was a couple of years ago, right? His brother was dying. He said to his dying brother, what happened? Why are you dying? This guy said it was a bloke in another village. Okay, he goes over to the other village, he kills this other bloke, right? He eats him, or eats bits of him. The other village gets a bit annoyed. They go, what's going on? Why did you kill this bloke? He went, sorry about that, right? They said, well, you need to make it up to us. He gave him a pig. They said, a pig's not enough. They gave him 5 pigs.
Hang on, who are they giving these pigs to? The tribe?
To the tribe of the bloke who he killed and ate. So 5 pigs apparently made up for the fact that they'd killed one of them. They said, well, hang on, what are you going to do with this bloke's wife?
Why were they bartering? Why didn't they just get the police in and say, what's going on?
What police?
Yeah. Why didn't they call Morse? I mean, what? Yeah. What? Why didn't they call in Kojak? Because he'd have sorted it out, wouldn't he? Or who else could they have called in? Columbo would have sorted it.
I don't understand. What are you saying? There's 2 tribes.
There's a number of different tribes, aren't there? I've just explained that to you. There's a number of small individual tribes in this dense Papua New Guinea forest
With a load of pigs.
But the wife of the guy that he killed, Nate, they said, "What we don't need her now. We don't want her." So she had to come and live with the murderer of her husband. So she's living there now, happy as Larry.
But what I mean is, right, they're miles away from anything, but it doesn't sound like the great place to live, right? Could they not move? Could one of them go, do you know what, I'm sick of this, I'm moving or whatever, and go to a proper city? How far away is this, these Papa people, to the next...
They're like the Smurfs. They're very like the Smurfs.
But how many miles away from a place with a normal life going on?
But think about this, Carl. Firstly, they don't speak the language, so they don't have any practical skills. They've got no experience of civilization. So even if they chose to go and live in one of these cities, what can they do? How can they function? They'll spend 15 years just trying to figure out what how everything works.
Mind you, I have had the same thought about Inuits.
Right.
If you live in a house made of ice and eat fish all day and then just stay in for 6 months, move. I really do. I mean, I don't understand why they're living there.
I think there's some bacteria that has better life than that.
That's got to be offensive.
Why?
Okay, how about this is one of the weirdest things. This is one of the weirdest things, right?
Sorry. An entire entire race
Just
of people.
dismiss.
No,
Just
I'm not having a go, but I'm just saying I wouldn't fancy it. Is what I mean.
But they
You know what I
don't
mean?
know
It's
of
nice.
another world. How can they imagine that they could... Oh, I'll tell you what, this is boring. I'm tired of hunting for food and eating fish from the river. I'll tell you what, I'd like a world where there's iPods and room service. I'm going to go and move to New York. They're not thinking like that, are they, Carl? Because they don't know about this other world.
Which is why, in a way, Carl can't offend them, because they are not listening to this podcast.
Very unlikely. Very, very unlikely.
You're not going to get any nasty letters from Eskimos, or Inuits as they want to be called now.
Does an Eskimo ever?
Inuit.
Do they ever
Inuit.
meet like an English person on holiday, and an English person goes, "It's choppy here, isn't it?" or whatever?
Well, what do you think?
It's just that people go to, you know, Steve said before about places he's been to where people are still walking about with swords and that. People go to these places on holiday now. They like a little bit of danger. They like to see how the others live. So all I'm saying is, we know they exist.
Yeah.
The Papa people, maybe people aren't going there. You know, it doesn't sound like the best place. You know, I can't imagine it having a tourist board or anything, right? But would they accept me if I popped over there and, you know, with Suzanne, sort out a little weekend break and that?
Where are we talking?
We're talking Papua New Guinea.
In Papa.
Well, okay, this is one of the things that they do, okay, which is a tradition you may have to do. These Kombai, right, they invert their penises. So they push their penises back up inside their bodies.
Like a sock.
What for?
Well,
Keeps it out of the way.
Of what?
well, if you're running through the undergrowth chasing a hog, you don't want it flapping away, you know. But it's also become a kind of ceremonial thing. So if you were over there, you may well have to try it yourself.
You would have to try it yourself. If you went there, you'd have to try it yourself.
But even cavemen had little pants on. Why haven't they?
Whoa!
Slow down.
Rewind.
What do you mean?
Again, you've been watching the Flintstones.
No. It's just, you know.
Is it a leopard skin pair of pants that's actually quite a... Go on.
But it's a well-known fact that they wore like bear pants or whatever.
Bear pants. What do you mean bear pants? No. Listen, you are a qualified anthropologist. So what?
I mean that, you know, whenever you see them on footage or in a museum.
Footage.
Yeah. Whenever you see that,
Well, it's a bit shaky. It's black and white as well, isn't it? Caveman footage.
You always see them wearing a little bit of fur little pants and that. So what I'm saying is, even though what year is it to these people in the woods?
I don't know what this conversation is anymore. He's just clutching at straws. His mind, it's like a fly. His mind, isn't it? It's just buzzing round. It's trying to find a window, and that's your mind. It is just like
hitting against pieces of information, but then just bouncing off.
Yeah.
Dazed to perplexed.
Forget it then.
The Ricky Gervais Show on Guardian Unlimited.
You can't believe your luck, Rick. Paul the Party Animal Parker's been in touch. I imagine the kind of New Year party he was having last night.
I don't want to think about it because it gives me a hangover just thinking about what that dude got up to. Come on, man.
Man alive. But anyway, you know, he never stops. He never stops supplying us with little tidbits.
What's PP done for us now?
He just likes finding little odds and ends and just sending them in. And you remember when we used to years ago we used to do that thing where we'd read headlines.
Yeah.
And sometimes the headline is all you need from a story.
Yeah.
And this is what's great about this one. If you give me a news at 10 style bong.
And now the news at 10. Bong.
Boy waited while doctor rode unicycle. Yeah, well, amazing. A hospital has apologised after a 6-month-old boy waited 2 hours for treatment while a doctor rode up and down a ward on a unicycle. Paula Dadswell has taken her son James to a local general hospital with suspected gastroenteritis. I should point out now, James was fine, it was not a problem. But she spotted the doctor pedalling the unicycle, but was astonished when the same doctor later walked over to examine the child. Miss Dadswell said, "We took one look at the doctor and said, 'You must be joking.' His face went bright red." A spokeswoman for the hospital said, "Of course, we are sorry if distress was inadvertently caused to the mother, and we've offered her our apologies. But let's also remember that we should try and make hospital wards less intimidating places for patients, and we regularly provide diversions that are not directly related to medical care. Many parents have commented favourably on this approach and indeed about the unicycle."
What I love about that story is that it's the most important job in the world,
Yeah.
and the most useless. Being a doctor is saving lives. It's incredible. It's so noble. Riding a unicycle is the most useless thing
Yeah.
you can do. It's that to me is plate spinning,
Yeah.
juggling, flame
Flame eating.
who goes into plate spinning? Is it like the father going, son, when you've finished university, you can take over the business? But I want to be a doctor, Dad. Look, the plate's nearly, and you're hooked, and you give it a little push, and you're there, and you're hooked.
It's a dying art. You don't see it as often as perhaps you once did.
Dad, I want to be a doctor. But the plate's nearly dropped, son. And unbelievable.
But what I can't make out from that story is whether the doctor he'd done the 7 years medical training, and then they said, you're working at this specific hospital.
Yeah.
They whipped out the unicycle. They said, you're going to need to learn that as well before we can put you on the wards. Or whether he was practicing. Who knows if he was practicing?
Do you know what I think happened? I think the bloke in charge of the hospital, there was 2 people up for the job. This fella, who was brilliant, he got first from Oxford, he was amazing, and the bloke in charge, his nephew.
yeah.
And they both scored the
He's
same.
in an open university course.
Yeah. And they went, well, you're both very good, but who can ride a unicycle?
He whipped it out.
Yeah.
He went, have a go.
Yeah, and he's been practicing. Unbelievable.
But it's also the idea that if it is indeed something which the hospital has initiated in order to cheer people up, particularly kids, I mean, it just seems like a dangerous thing to be doing in a hospital, with all due respect. I mean,
I think so. You could pull out leads, wires.
Anything could happen.
I know, yeah. They get you to turn your mobile phone off when you go into some ward. So please leave your unicycle here. Surely, do not. No unicycles beyond this point.
If you have a unicycle accident, of course, a great place to be.
It is a good place to be.
It's an ideal space to be already.
But who rides the unicycle anyway? Do you know what really annoys me? We live near a park. It's a lovely park, and on a Saturday for about 3 hours, there's some twat hippie with playing one drum. How can you play one drum? He thinks this is brilliant. This is therapy. It's shut the fuck up.
It's nothing. It's not music. It's not percussion. It's not expressing anything. It's just annoying.
Yeah.
So this would be my worst nightmare if you were to take me on an evening out. You say, Steve, we're going tonight, right? You can't get out of it. You've got to do it. It's 2 hours. Stomp.
Oh.
Stomp, where they put dustbin lids on their feet. Now, I mean, I've seen a little bit of it on the Oscars.
Yeah.
It's all right for 30 seconds. Well done. But what is that show? What is the Stomp show?
I don't know.
I mean, Jesus Christ! After about 15 minutes, you've had enough of that. Surely. I'm assuming there's not really a story.
Are they bin men? No, I just wondered how you get into that, how you start practicing and go, do you know what? That sounds quite good.
Yeah, they are. They're men, yeah. I was shopping with Carl before Christmas, and we went round sort of Piccadilly and St James's, and there's really beautiful shops around there. And I went in one shop. You had to ring a bell to enter.
Yeah.
They came down, and it's like a iconoclastic sort of shop, and they found things from churches and nearly all Russian 16th century pieces onwards. This beautiful carvings and paintings and statues and everything, and I was wowed by it. And this bloke clearly loved his work, and he was, enthusing to me about these stuff. This is from the 16th century. This is Russian. This is and I went, oh, it's beautiful. And as I was looking round, I heard Carl sidle up to the bloke and go, "What's the newest thing you've got here?"
Yeah, sure. That's his first thought.
I mean, that is the wrong question to ask of a man who's clearly in antiques.
Yeah.
Proud of the fact he's got 16th century iconoclastic Russian stuff, to ask, what's the newest thing you've got here? I mean, what sort of question is that? Oh, I don't know, probably the doorbell. I don't know, what does he want to say with my shirt? What were you thinking?
For?
I was just making chat with him, because it's the sort of place that I don't think many people go in, right, Steve? When you go up to this shop, right, it's not sat in there. You have to ring a bell. He's getting on with his life upstairs. He lives upstairs, right? You ring the bell to say, "What, I'll come in your shop." He pops down, stands there watching you look around. So it's not a natural way to shop.
Sure.
Do you know what I mean? It's not nice having a bloke stood there watching you look at all this old stuff and that. So I was kind of making friendly chat.
Yeah.
And I think it's an alright question, because he was saying there's loads of old stuff in there, and he kept going on about the old stuff. What did he say? Or what's the newest thing you've got?
And what was?
Do you know what he said? The other question he asked him, he said, "How often do you get new stuff in?" And the bloke went, "Every day." And I said to him, "Why did you ask that?" He said, "Well, I was thinking, if you got antiques and you sell it all, what's left? Like, someone's going to sell all the antiques in the world because they're not making any new stuff. What does that mean? They're not making any new stuff.
But I know for a fact no one's ever going to go in there and buy the lot anyway. I mean, I've never seen anything like it. I'm not at any point in my life, and I don't think it'll ever happen, will I go, "I need some old Russian wood." Because
It was brilliant.
No,
it was, Steve.
no.
It was beautiful. It's amazing stuff. There's stuff. There's these things from the 16th century of sort of like saints and monks, and they're carved and
There's
they're.
loads of it. It's just all piled up. No one's interested. If I was him, I'd go, do you know what? I'm into this, but no one else is. Close shop. Because seriously, it's just piled up, piles upon piles of like old bits of wood with pictures on it and that.
But
There was
think
one
of,
fella-
just think of a man 400 years ago that carved this.
No, but nobody wants it, do they? I've never heard anyone say, you know, oh look, it's my birthday coming up. I'll tell you what I'd love.
What?
Bit of old Russian wood. It doesn't happen. That's what I'm saying. I've never heard anyone saying it. Like, I've never overheard someone saying, you don't know where the Russian shop is, do you? And this is in London where the rates are high. There was this thing, right, Steve? You know, again, making chat. Loads of bits of wood with like them old drawings on like.
It was like a panel from a church that someone had painted,
right, yeah.
and I think it was like, you know, from sort of like 1590 or something.
Yeah.
And it was this a picture of this this saint, wasn't it?
1590, could be from any time really. So there's this one there, right, leaning up against the wall, and most of them in there was that Stalin bloke, right? But there was this little
Right, can I just stop with there? Lenin.
right,
Okay.
alright then.
Yeah.
So he was on all these bits of wood and stuff. But I saw this other little face, right, little fella with a beard, right? So I said, who's this bloke here? He said, the story there, right? He said, it's this little fella who went a bit mad or something. He got mugged back in Russia. This is right, isn't it? This is what he was saying. He said he got mugged.
It's just that term. I love that term in a 16th century Russian wood. Oh no, I'm being mugged.
So he got mugged.
He got happy slapped.
And he said, I've had enough of this, right?
Yeah.
And he went to live in the woods, right? Made like a little shed, stayed there. People went to visit him, and like if you got a problem, you knock on his door and you go, oh, I'm sick of it. And he'll sort of say, yeah, I know what you mean. I've moved out of the city and what have you. And he'd make them feel better, and then they go again. Now, why has that man got a plaque? If he was around now, there's no way he'd have a bit of wood with his face on it, is what I'm saying. If someone had got fed up with living in London or New York or whatever, and they go, I'm going to go and live in the woods, people wouldn't visit him, and he wouldn't get a piece of wood with his face on, is what I'm saying. But this man is selling it for about, I think it was about 750 quid for this bloke's head.
Well, because it's 400 years old and beautifully painted.
But the chances are that this is either a well-known Russian folktale, or it may even be a piece of classic Russian
He's a
literature.
saint. He was a saint.
Oh,
He was
okay, well, in which
canonised.
case,
Yeah, but everybody was a saint years ago. That seems to be like thrown about, doesn't it? Who's a saint now in this year? Who's a saint? Name me one now. Yeah, this fella lived in the woods in a hut. Oh yeah, that's Saint John or whatever. He's not a saint. He's done nothing. If anything, he's sort of said, I can't be bothered with living in the city with everyone else. Everyone else has got to put up with it, but I can't put up with it. I'm going to live in the woods. Well, if you can't put up with it, you're not good enough, are you? You've got no stamina. And yet he gets a plaque, is what I'm saying. It's annoying.
Who would you like to see get a plaque in the modern world? Who deserves a plaque, in your opinion?
Probably like nurses and that who do a lot of bad things that I think I couldn't do that. Carrying lungs about and all that. No, but I couldn't do. Do you know what I mean? That's one job that my mum wanted me to be a doctor.
Wow! What was she thinking? Oh, what's her expectations like now?
Didn't fall far from the tree.
Oh, when did she start giving up that dream? At what age did she start going, Carl, you don't need to study your books anymore. Go and play with the worms in the garden. When did she sort of like let you off that dream?
Was it the day that she caught you with a spoon up your nose?
From the creators of The Office, Ricky Gervais and Stephen Merchant. Extras, the first series, now on DVD.
Who are you?
Nobody.
What's that? Who?
Nobody.
That's right. Nobody. And who am I?
So the Starsky Hutch, I can never remember.
You are guaranteed an Oscar if you play a mentor.
I've just written a sitcom, but I wonder if you could give it to anyone you know. Is there any nudity in it? Well, it could be. Men or women? Either. Well, just women. I will make it so.
A painfully funny double disc. Extras on DVD now.
That was a good advert, wasn't it?
I'm just remembering some of the great jokes in that show.
What was that for? I always forget what adverts are for. So it was for...
That was for Extras, available now on DVD.
So if you've got vouchers for Christmas, you could go to a shop and buy.
Go to the shop, yeah,
Extras.
definitely. Absolutely. You could walk straight into any kind of shop, high street shop, and say, "Excuse me, have you got extras on DVD? I've got some vouchers," and exchange them for a copy of the DVD.
And that's big in England and America, isn't it? It's on HBO in America, so it's a very successful.
Americans, I guess, the great place to buy that would be on say one of the websites, Amazon, or one of the internet shopping
.com or
companies,
.co.uk
yeah,
or Play
and search for it there. But,
.com. And I mean, if it's going the way of The Office, which is the most successful British sitcom ever, I mean, I'd invest now. I'd say I was round at the beginning. I bought extras on DVD the first year it came out.
Get a first edition of the DVD.
Get a first edition of the DVD.
That'll be highly collectible.
And isn't there great extras on there? You see Sam Jackson and Kate Winslet and Ben Stiller.
Rick, there's some wonderful behind-the-scenes footage, and there's some wonderful little documentaries about the making of the show. I mean, to me, it just makes perfect sense. It's still a great way to see in the new year.
Right, but if you are going into Amazon, .co.uk, and you're buying extras, buy a copy of Flanimals. More Flanimals is available now.
Yeah, I don't get any money from that, so I'm not gonna talk about that.
No. Just buy Flanimals, more Flanimals.
Well, don't keep going on about it, 'cause that's not fair.
Extras.
Yeah, exactly.
Coming up, the Mega Dance remix of I Could Eat a Knob at Night.
Plus, of course, Monkey News.
Yeah, and if you've got any Monkey News, by the way, just email it in. What is it? Podcast@rickygervais.com.
That's right.
But don't be asking any questions about monkeys and that, because there's too many people asking about what's going on in monkey world and that, and I can't do it to everyone.
Well, you're gonna bring up any kind of big monkey information.
If they need to know that, I'll have it every week. But it's just that a lot of people, they've got a taste for it.
Talking of Monkey News, if you want to learn more about Carl, we've just put up a big biography, and there's some pictures that you haven't seen before of Carl Pilkington, and you can go to rickygervais.com and check out the roundness of his head and some of his stupid ideas.
But anyway, talking of emails and that, right? Nick Decker, who's emailed from Australia, right, Melbourne. He's been going on about dolphins and that, problems with dolphins.
What problems?
He's just saying when that wind happened.
What?
There was like a bad wind thing going on, and
Not your Auntie Nora again.
There was a load of dolphins in like a bay.
Hold on, wait a minute. What bad wind?
In America, they had that
Hurricane Katrina.
Yeah.
Right.
And there was like a little bay with dolphins in it, and
right,
with all guns on them and stuff.
What? Whoa, rewind. What do you mean?
Do you know they use dolphins, don't they? They say they're an intelligent animal and stuff.
Yeah.
And they've got them all they've all had the training. They're all like ready for battle and stuff.
Right.
Got like rifles on them.
What do you mean rifles?
How can they hold the rifle?
How can they hold the rifle?
No, it's sort of on a strap and that.
What do you mean it's on a strap?
I don't know what they kit them out with, but they're just ready for war.
What are you talking about?
Listen, though, that isn't the point. Don't worry about it.
Oh, we leave that one, do we? That's not the point, so let's leave it.
So they're swimming about and that,
yeah, with rifles and berets.
Whatever they've got on.
Yeah.
Right, ready for battle and stuff.
Yeah, ready for battle, yeah.
The wind comes in.
The wind comes
in.
Hurricane
Katrina.
Makes a wave and that. They get out of the little bay.
Yeah.
Still all kitted out with all the, weapons.
You're talking bollocks.
Steve, do you want to look at the email?
Well, there's no way. There's loads of dolphins now swimming round, kitted out with guns and that, with a strap. How can a dolphin hold a... Whoa. Again, you've been watching Planet of the Apes.
They just say, they say they're an intelligent animal and that.
Yeah.
People are trusting them. Right?
Brilliant.
Look, here's a dolphin.
Oh, he's trying to talk to us. What's he saying? He's saying, go ahead, punk, make my day. Look, you're talking shit.
It's just news to say if there's dolphins, if you see a dolphin in that, don't go, oh, it's friendly, because there's some with weapons now. So I'm just reading it out on email. That'll cover it and that. So.
Bollocks.
And more animal stuff, right? Your girlfriend, Jane, right? When I was round there the other night, she was talking about you're getting closer to doing the mammoth.
Oh yeah, they're genetically engineering it. They're a few sort of million bits and pieces away, but they reckon they're going to be able to build a living mammoth in 2 years. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
What sort of Jurassic Park type stuff?
Sort of, yeah. Yeah. What do you think of that, Carl?
Do we need them?
What do you mean?
Well, is it worth messing about? Because I always think, well, whoever's like knocking one of these together, right?
Yeah.
They must be pretty bright. Right?
Yeah.
So whilst they're messing about with an hairy elephant, could they be doing more useful stuff that the world needs?
Well, it's sort of like it's fascinating. Even if on the face of it looks pointless, which it rarely is. Scientific discovery, sure, isn't it? I mean, that's amazing, isn't it? That you could bring a mammoth back. What are the implications to bringing a mammoth back? Could they aid the workload? Could they feed the starving? There's
What, so
applications.
you're saying
Well, I'm not
bring
saying
it back
anything.
to kill it, to eat it?
Well, I'm not saying anything. I'm saying that rarely is scientific discovery pointless and a waste of time. In the greater scheme of things, we learn from this, don't we? The fact that it can map DNA of a mammoth. What are the implications there? Could we bring back, I don't know, Churchill? Could we bring back Nelson? Would we want to? Is it moral? That's another question. But the feet alone, and I don't mean its feet. I don't mean we can bring back mammoth feet.
I could tell that was what he was thinking when his eyes moved.
Yeah, I mean the achievement alone is remarkable. Putting a man on the moon, pointless, but what a feat.
But don't you think...
Not impressed by putting a man on the moon?
No, we've chatted about the man on the moon, some people like it, some don't. I'm not going to argue about it, do you know what I mean? If you were behind it and that, good on you. But
Yeah.
I'm not that fussed. I don't think we've learnt that much from it. We went all that way, popped a flag up, came back. What have we learned about that journey since? We haven't really been back.
We conquered space. We just conquered space. That's what we do. We see what we can do. Why climb a mountain? Because it's there. What's at the bottom of the ocean?
Yeah, but I don't agree with people who climb mountains for the sake of it. It's alright if you've got to get over it, but don't go up and then go down again.
Nor
Just go for a good walk.
Well, I don't mind as long as they don't strain the emergency services. If you're a posh bloke going up the mountain in a beard and you get stuck, you're an idiot.
Yeah.
And then there's people would have to risk their lives going to rescue you because you wanted to laugh. I agree with that, actually.
But don't you think the world's busy enough? It's like you can't hardly move. You know what I mean? And mammoths are taking up quite a bit of room if a load of them come back. We've already got elephants, which in my eyes are good enough. They do, they carry stuff about and that. What's going to be better, a mammoth or an elephant? Because I can see that one of them's going to have to go at some point. If like we start running out of elephants, would they say, well, it doesn't matter, we've got mammoths and stuff. So what's the point?
You don't need anyone else in the room for a conversation, do you?
No, but
He's arguing with himself.
He's arguing with his own head.
Amazing.
where would you put the mammoth if they get it going, right?
Yeah.
They pop it on give it the old electric shock and that, wake it up, and it.
Frankenstein has been watching.
And it's like,
all his information about science is about the Flintstones, Planet of the Apes, and Frankenstein.
In his head, they've got an elephant. They've put some carpet tiles over it, and they're trying to bring that back to life as a mammoth.
yeah, forget it then.
Carl, can we have some monkey news before I die?
Alright.
Oh, chimpanzee that monkey news, yeah.
This week, what I thought I'd do, right, because we're getting loads of emails from people who haven't really heard much of the monkey news that I've done in the past, right? And a lot of people are sending through one of the first ones that I did that was a good monkey news. I think it's worth hearing again, just in case you forgot about it, because it's sort of classic monkey news. I don't know if you want a different jingle.
Well, no, I mean, it's just, if it's anything that you've ever said, it's not true anyway, so carry on.
Well, it was a true one, because this is the one that, like, this is like world-known monkey news. A lot of people will send this through. It's the most popular one, right? It's about this monkey that was knocking about called Ollie, right? It's called Oliver.
Yeah.
And it was in this zoo, and it was the only monkey in there, right? So
this is one they think was the missing link. It was half human, half ape. That programme on television, because it had bald. It looked like you, which doesn't mean it's half.
It might have been that one. What happened is it was in the zoo and stuff, and it was getting a bit lonely because like it was sharing its sort of time with, say, an elephant and a giraffe and
No,
that.
it doesn't happen.
And they didn't really.
No, wait. Let
me just tell you.
They do not put chimpanzees in.
No,
but it's not true. Why would you share his time with an elephant and a giraffe?
Gervais, it was some kind of flat share. They put an advert in the student union.
Yeah,
saying, we've got 2 rooms to let.
African mammal wanted.
Well,
Not
anyway,
specific.
A mammoth and
what I'm saying is there was other elephants for elephants to knock about with and that. The monkey, it was the only one there. So what happened is the zookeeper felt a bit sorry for him.
Right.
He was like, oh look, he's looking all fed up and that.
Yeah.
And like you say, I think he went a bit bald because he was bored and that. So he started to sort of get pally with him. So at lunchtime, when the zookeeper was sat on the wall having his like ham butties or whatever, he'd sort of go, alright. And it used to come over closer and closer, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, within a month, he was sat on the wall having his lunch with him, right? And
What's what wall?
just a little wall in the zoo.
So they let the monkey out. The monkey could come and go. He had his own
Well,
door key.
just near where the monkey is, it used to just pop
Oh,
over.
these blinking latchkey monkeys.
I know, yeah. He was
sit
21.
there-
Yeah, go on.
Sit there having his butty and that
Yeah.
with the monkey and
Yeah.
stuff. And anyway,
The ham
as
butty,
as time went on, because the zookeeper back then, zoos weren't as popular as they are now, so it was only it was him on his own really. So he found like the monkey was the closest
Rubbish.
thing.
Absolute rubbish.
to
To
another-
go around with one
This is a
zookeeper.
true thing. I mean, this
It's
is what I'm
not,
saying.
no,
a lot of people,
it
The
is.
height of popularity for zoo surely was in the Victorian era. So
Yeah, exactly. You're
But anyway,
talking-
go on.
carry
yeah,
on.
but
Okay.
you're sort of picking up on little things that
aren't
aren't important.
important,
It
sure.
doesn't matter.
Yeah, that
But
aren't true.
anyway,
Go
so
on.
he's sat there, and as time goes on,
Yeah.
he's sort of sat with him most of the day. Monkeys walking around with him, helping feed the other animals and that.
No.
But then what happened is the zookeeper at the end of the night when he's like locking up and stuff, he'd feel bad because he'd believe in the zoo, and like Ollie's sat there and he's like, I'll see you tomorrow, and the monkey's like, yeah, right, see you later. Look